Okay. What made you fall in love?
You want to answer that first?
Sure. But I just saw a guy who was, first of all, attractive to me, and so of course that's the first thing. But then I noticed he was very humble, doing something where he could have been full of himself and he wasn't. Enjoyed that about him and how natural and real he was. And then I noticed that he put God first in everything, and that was the big attraction. And then not only did he just proclaim that, but I saw that living every day. I saw him seek the Word. I saw him reading his Bible, checking that out every day, and I liked that about him. And so then we had dreams we noticed we had in common, and
Yeah.
just more and more everything fell into place.
For me, there was the initial attraction, obviously, but then as we got to know each other a lot better, and we talked an awful lot about a number of different things, I ended up finding out that how important she felt like home was, and how she, I think a lot of women really feel like home is important, obviously, but I think she felt that it was so important that she wanted to stay home and with the kids, and that was somebody that I was looking for, that felt like home and children and keeping a home and keeping things going was extremely important, and that's really, you know, what I really felt like was important, at least in finding a woman, and somebody that was also that was sharing a lot of the same dreams I had and a lot of the same goals, and obviously that God was a big part of that. And whenever you find somebody like that, you can really build a life and build a lot of dreams in that regard.
Okay. Question number 2. What is the impact of children leaving the home?
I think the first impact is that there's a lot of there's a kind of a change in dynamic, because each time one child leaves the home, then certain roles kind of end up being filled that are kind of left open, and so there's a dynamic that's different. Personalities will react different to that kind of situation. Later on in life, obviously, when everybody leaves home, you kind of come full circle and you are able to discover the things that attracted you again to one another, because you're on your own again, and that is really, we haven't reached that point yet, but there are times when we're able to be by ourselves, and it's nice.
Well, too, just looking back at what did you do right and what did you do wrong, and your time is up, but it kind of gives you some reflection, I think, about parenting too, as they leave and you watch them take their own path.
How have you gotten through the tough times?
Sometimes you have to just hang on to God and know you don't understand or know what to do in the situation necessarily, but you wait and you trust God, and you know that we're both going to stick in there together until we come to the end of it.
And a lot of it's, when she talks about, depending on God, it's a lot of prayer, both of us together and separate.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are issues that she has or that I have that we realize that there's nobody that's going to actually be able to handle that except for God, and so there's a lot of prayer, separate and together. There's a lot of communication, a lot of talking that goes on, and a lot of sometimes you get into some pretty heated disagreements at times, but you come to a point where you agree to disagree, or you work something out, and that's at least the route that we've taken.
How do you budget after college and debt?
Well, we're not the experts on that for sure.
Yeah, we were in a lot of, we did not do well after college. You know, to me, if I had the advice to give anybody after they got married was to live on one salary and save the other one, and which is something that we did not do. And that would have helped us out in a lot of ways in terms of being able to pay some things off sooner. She had a car loan, she had some school loans, and so forth. And you know, it was several years before we were able to pay that off. But I think we would have maybe done that a little quicker and had that, you know, poor young couple life for a while. If we would have just lived off my salary, saved hers back, and then used that to pay off, you know, a lot of the debt.
Yeah. Don't get in debt if you don't have to.
Yeah.
We didn't learn that soon enough.
But there's a budgeting process to it even now, you know. We still have some things that we have to pay off, but I try to keep a cap on the percentage of debt and not let it get any higher than that, and be moving towards lowering that even more and more and more and more, as much as we possibly can, and still having some money to do some things, because you still have a family, you still have to live, and you still want to have you know, memories and be able to do things with your family. You got to be able to live. So.
Your last one. What do you do in order to stay in love?
Well, we have a date every week, at least we try to, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy or expensive. We'll just go have Starbucks and talk, or we'll just go to Barnes and Noble, where that's a place we love, books, and have a little time to sit, a little time to browse, and then once a year we try to have a little short getaway. It may not be very far, it may just be the weekend, just something
Picnics.
short. Yeah.
Picnics is one of the things that we used to do when we were dating quite a bit. Just to get out somewhere. We used to go to Nelson Park and by the lake and just, you know, have a picnic or go there and talk. That's where we had probably one of our longest talks when we were, you know, first seriously dating. So.
We still do a lot of dreaming together and planning the future.
And that's real important too.
Connection.
It's real important is having those, you know, having those times, you know, by yourself, having your times as a married couple. It's private, having those times whenever you're able to go out and do just some going shopping or going on little field trips or whatever. It's just real important to have that kind of time.